Hey everyone, winter solstice is upon us. And it's the perfect morning in West Oz for a winter solstice. It's like, it's dark and it's grey and it's windy and it's raining and it's just, it couldn't be any more perfect. So I was really excited to come on this morning and share a little bit of a story and wish everyone all the best for this time of year. Southern Hemisphere, moving into the darkness, the shortest day of the year, ready to rebirth back towards the light, and then opposite in the Northern Hemisphere. So a real transition time, I guess. One ending and then one new beginning. So like a death and a rebirth. And oh man. So the last month, pretty much a month ago today, I wrote in the title, Listen, 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 and it can come in so many ways, but for this particular story I'm going to share, it's more just very simply listening to the wisdom of our bodies, or listening to the wisdom of my body, which I didn't do so well over the last month. So I'll just jump into the story. So a month ago today, it was on a Saturday. I had my support work shift where I'm heading off to today. Good morning, Carly. I love these live streams because, we can all participate. It's great. So back to the story. I was doing my support shift and there was a bit of, there's kids and there was, sickness in the house, and generally my immune system's pretty kick-ass. Like, I've been looking after myself as best I can for a long, long time, and have built up a good immune system, and I kind of, some like ego around that, some pride around really working on my immune system and building it to a point that it's quite resilient. And like when I was younger, my immune system was not good at all. So yeah, about mid-20s, I got on the health program. And so for over 20 years now, I've been really doing my best to build my immune system to be as resilient as possible. So anyway, back to the story. That's the Saturday night I woke up and I was like, whoa, something's going on with my throat. It's very rare. I used to get sore throats all the time when I was a grom, when I was a youngster. But these days, a sore throat is really quite rare. And I remember that night waking up going, oh, I wonder what this is. And I think I did a little post and just, I like to kind of work on the energetics. So when it's getting hot. So I like to kind of move the energy through. And I remember that night laying in bed and I was just put my hand over my throat and I'm like, just breathing and resting and just, just inquiring what's happening here, and just checking in. And there was some grief, and then I'm just letting it move through. Generally that throat area, in my experience, it's like the last gate, communication, throat chakra. I love that. So yeah, it's whatever's, for my system, generally things move up, and as they're coming out, especially a lot of this lower bass stuff, gets to the throat and can get stuck. So with with that area, it's a nice one to just tap or, move the jaw or put the hand there or just bring awareness and intention to softening. Sometimes tears come, sometimes laughter can come, but I think it's a point that we all hold a lot. So it's going to be a long story. So I'm there and I'm in bed and I'm softening that area and just letting the grief come, just allowing that area to soften. And what I'm aware of is that when there's tight spots in our body, if there's a bit of a virus or a bit of something moving in my system, it'll generally hold in the spots where it's tight, where the blood's not flowing and kind of balancing out any invaders. So that was that Saturday night. Then I woke up the next day, no worries, the throat had balanced out, and I was like, well, that was interesting. Possibly went to work that day. And then on the Monday, the surf was huge and pumping, and I was feeling a little bit flat, but I got pretty excited because I had the whole day free, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go. And I met a few mates that were checking it, and the younger guys, they're like, yeah, come on, let's do this. So I got caught up in the moment, and I didn't listen. And next minute I'm paddling to this outer reef, and I sat out there for about an hour. Didn't get away. It was quite an inconsistent swell, and I just wasn't feeling it. Especially when the surf's big, you've got to be really wanting it. You've got to be really feeling it, and in there, But I was just I sat there for like an hour, and my wetsuit. I've since got a new wetsuit, but I just got cold, and I'm sitting out there on this outer reef, starting to freeze up and tighten, which I mentioned before, when the blood's flowing and there's softening through the system, things just balance out naturally. So I'm out there seizing up, frozen, got a couple of waves, went in, and then I think it was the next day I was like, whoa, okay, I think I'm getting a little bit sick here, a little bit run down, and just, I don't know if the throat came back, but just that feeling of, just something in my system that was taking energy. So, and then I went through a bit of a process of, working a few days, surfing again as I felt better, and then I'd be down a little bit, and it seems most of Margaret River has been struggling with this cold, viral thing the last weeks, month or so. Just about everyone I speak to, half, 3/4 of the town have had this moving through their systems. So over the coming weeks, I had this dance of, wow, got the day off, surf's good, go surf, and just exhaust my energy that was needed to help balance my system. I'm using it externally rather than holding it and keeping warm and looking after myself. And eventually, I think leading up to that full moon last week, I just got in this crazy spin. I think I worked Saturday. I went to this ecstatic dance on the Saturday night. Then I think it was like Qigong Sunday morning, back to work. Then I chilled a bit, and then Monday I jumped into this 3-week yoga school, like great deal. You can go as much as you want for this 3-week period. So I went yoga on the Monday, went surfing, back to yoga on the Monday evening, and worked Tuesday. I taught a Qigong class on the Tuesday evening, and then thought, yeah, I'm feeling good, I'll follow on. So I did the next hour and a half of Qigong. So I'm, 3 hours of Qigong Tuesday, taught Qigong on the Wednesday morning, back surfing, full moon song circle on the Wednesday night, and by Thursday I'm just like, my body is just like, hey, mate, you got to listen here, like I was just having way too much fun, and just It was just the energy of that moon was really strong, and eventually, I think it was by the Sunday. I think I was, working Friday, Saturday, and by Sunday I was just like, man, I've got to completely stop here. It got to the point where the virus, code word, scary word to say. No one talks about the flu anymore. It's like I've got a cold or I've got a flu. It's like ancient history already. And going anywhere these days when you're a little bit sick, it's like, you feel like a terrorist. Don't want to breathe or cough or, God forbid, sneeze in the supermarket or something. So yes, back to that Sunday, and I was like, I can't go to work. I've got to call in sick, and just it got into my chest, and I was like, this isn't good. I really need to listen. So I had a good 3 weeks or so of opportunity to listen, and I really didn't listen. So something that could have taken 3 or 4 days to balance out from that original Saturday night, if I just kept warm, held my energy, rested while I had the opportunity, things would have just balanced out naturally. But I dragged it on and on for like 3 or 4 weeks, and finally got the message, because I had a lot of asthma and stuff when I was young, so my lungs are a little bit of a sensitive area. And when it got into the lungs, I was just like, okay, now I'm listening. So I was able to really stop for a couple of days and just let my system do what it does so naturally and so beautifully. The human, a looked after human immune system is such a powerful force, and I don't think there's anything that it can't deal with. It can't balance out. So if there's any takeaway from this story of my ups and downs of the last month, it's please listen. Our bodies are constantly talking to us, and whether that's a whisper, hey mate, just rest for a few days, or it's a scream, it's like your lungs are not in good shape now, and if you don't actually stop, you're going to end up in a real pickle. So there's all these opportunities we constantly have to hear the wisdom of the body. So listen. That's why I wrote it down 3 times. Because I need this medicine. It's like, as I'm doing these little movies, I'm talking to myself, and if there's anyone out there that is benefiting, then I'm grateful and I'm honoured for that. So there it is. That's my winter solstice 2025 sharing. Simple listening, resting when we need to, and I know that, I don't know, but I'm guessing everyone is in such different situations with their lives and their experiences and their health and all the challenges that we face as humans. So just navigating that as best we can, moment to moment, listening. Maybe I need to go to bed earlier tonight. Maybe I need to make a beautiful hot chicken soup with garlic and ginger and onion, and really take the time to prepare something that's going to nourish my system. Okay, thank you for listening. I've got a few things stirring in the background that I want to start doing more of these videos, and perhaps a little more structure, just really feels like I'm on purpose when I'm doing this stuff. So I'm going to start exploring a few more ways of putting myself out there a bit more, because it seems to be working. I think I deleted my old Facebook account through that COVID time. That's another story in itself. But these days, I think there's about 300 friends, and generally there's about 250, 300 people. Not people. I have no idea who watches these things. I know that Carly's possibly watching, or was watching this morning. So there must be some value in them, because they're getting watched, and it's not me watching them 300 times. Occasionally I'll watch it maybe two extra times. I like to watch after just to see if I've made sense, and there's something interesting about me watching myself share this stuff, because it's like I'm talking to myself, and I learn as I go. I guess we're all learning as we go. So yeah, look out for some upcoming creativity and more sharing, because it feels good doing this at the moment. Lots of love for this winter solstice, and yeah, keep listening. It's a real key for a good, healthy, balanced life. Okay. See ya.